Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, curfew imposed in Albion Mountain, St. Mary. A curfew has been imposed in the community of Albion Mountain in St. Mary. Acting Superintendent for the St. Mary Division, Anthony Wallace, says that the curfew is in response to an upsurge in violent crimes and increasing concerns about gang-related activities in the area. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Tuesday and will run until 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 9. The curfew encompasses north a section of Top Mountain in the vicinity of the Albion Mountain Square along an imaginary line which runs approximately 1,675 meters east to a section of the Trinity Land Main Road. East along a section of the Trinity Land Main Road along an imaginary line which runs approximately 1,517 meters south to the Y Junction intersection along a section of the Cox Street Main Road. South along the Cox Street Main Road at the Y Junction intersection, veering left to Roslyn Road and right to Trinity Land Main Road with an imaginary line which runs approximately 1,897 meters west to a section of Roslyn Road. West along a section of the Roslyn Road through an imaginary line which runs approximately 1,451 meters north to a section of Top Mountain in the vicinity of the Albion Mountain Square. Residents are urged to comply with the directives of law enforcement during this period to ensure the safety of all involved. The operation will be conducted with full respect for human rights, Wallace said. The JCF remains committed to reducing violence, maintaining public order, and protecting law-abiding citizens. Together, we can ensure the safety and the security of Albion Mountain and its residents, he added. Curfew imposed in East Clarendon. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the East community in Clarendon. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Monday, January 6, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Wednesday, January 8. The boundaries of the curfew are north traveling from Point to Wembley Center of Excellence to New Village along an imaginary line. East traveling from Point to New Village to Landelease along an imaginary line. South traveling from Point to Landelease to Raymonds along an imaginary line, and west traveling from Point to Raymonds to Wembley Center of Excellence along an imaginary line. During the hours of the curfew, all individuals within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. St. Thomas bus operators call for subsidies as the JUTC clinches the customers. St. Thomas bus operators say they are feeling the pinch following the rollout of Jamaica Urban Transit Company routes in the parish. JUTC buses have been operating between Yallas and Kingston and Marante Bay and the capital city since December 2, 2024. The coaster bus operators staged a peaceful protest in Yallas Square on Tuesday morning to call attention to their plight. They are calling for Transport Minister Darrell Vaz to provide subsidies or other similar assistance to prevent them from going out of business.
We want the minister to do something for man. We are begging you, man. Please, please, we are pleading to you, sir. Because it looks like we are running to your loss and it looks so bad. If you have to park 60 or 70 bus, you park 70 bus. 70 conductors, 70 drive out of work. It's 140 workers that out of work.
Don't get us wrong, we don't have a problem with the JUTC. It is a development for the parish. That is for one. Two, it is beneficiary to a lot of people then. But look at us as small investors now. When you bring in the JUTC and the fuel, the passenger who used to take the coaster now, you drop your fare to almost 50%. Tell me now, how are we going to survive when there's nobody taking the coasters? Don't chop the fare to 50% of our one. Charge the same thing then, man. We literally come here, we soon can't send our kids to school. We can't buy food because we can't maintain the bus. It'll go right to home. It is going straight through home, so it'll left from the road and go to home. So what next for us to do?
Well, the only thing we have to do, if the government can't respond to it, the only thing we have to do is park, because we can't maintain the vehicle to what's going on. The money that we are making can't maintain the vehicle, can't pay driver, can't pay doctors. Yes, it. It's really rough.
Police High Command claims that crime reduction strategies are working. The Police High Command has asserted that the reduction in crime last year is an indication that the strategies employed by the police are working. Data from the Ministry of National Security show that Jamaica ended 2024 with 1,139 murders, 265 fewer than for the previous year. This represents a 19% decline in homicides. Deputy Commissioner Richard Stewart, who heads the Crime and Security Portfolio, speaking Tuesday with the news, said the police will be refining and maintaining its strategies to ensure continued reduction in crimes this year, noting that as time moves, we garner additional experience.
As time moves, we garner additional experience. And I'm suggesting that given the experiences that we have had, the lessons learned from the past, I feel relatively comfortable that we should be able to sustain the downward trend that we are now seeing.
MAJ calls for government to test for HMPV amid a global surge in cases. President of the Medical Association of Jamaica, Dr. Leslie Mead, believes that Jamaica may already have cases of the HMPV given the frequency of people traveling to the island from countries with reports of the respiratory illness. HMPV is a seasonal virus that typically causes upper respiratory infections resembling the common cold. Infections are reportedly surging in Asia, including China, India, Malaysia, and Kazakhstan. Speaking with the news, Dr. Mead said a popular destination for Jamaicans is the United States, where cases of the virus have been steadily increasing since November last year.
About 7% of the screening that is done in the U.S. in terms of respiratory viruses is HMPV, and Jamaicans travel back and forth very often. And so it is likely that it has already been or has arrived into Jamaica and has been circulating. We are not, as far as I'm aware, testing specifically for HMPV. In more developed countries, we know that there are kits, particularly used in persons who are hospitalized, to try and differentiate what is this disease. Is it COVID? Is it respiratory syncytial virus? Is it the influenza? Is it HMPV? And so you can tailor your management to those persons. The COVID-19 caused a pandemic because it was new. No one had any immunity against the COVID-19, and so it was able to spread throughout the world. This is different. The HMP have been around about 23 years now, and we find that many persons, not just in China, but in Europe and the USA, have been exposed to this virus, and so there is some amount of natural immunity, and so we should not find that we will have a pandemic outbreak, all being equal.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.